Good morning, everyone. The research title is The Impact of Quality of Governance on Foreign Direct Investment and Empirical Analysis to Sri Lanka. Foreign direct investment has been considered as one of the engines that promote economic growth in developing countries during recent decades. The OECD defines FDI is a category of cross-border investment in which an investor resident in one economy establishes a lasting interest in another country through significant degree of influence over an enterprise. However, there are many conditions that have to be satisfied to attract FDI. It is important to ensure an attractive investment climate. Consistent macroeconomic policies, quality of governance, economic stability, guarantee of property rights are among the conditions required to attract FDI. Consistency and predictability in economic policies and political stability are preconditions to attract FDI. In this regard, the government of Sri Lanka also has made tremendous effort to attract foreign investment through the implementations of favorable foreign investment policies since independence in 1948. FDI and the quality of governance saw an increasing trend with the fluctuation in time to time in Sri Lanka. These figures are shown the trend of foreign direct investment and quality of governance of Sri Lanka 1996 to 2019. Next, move to the literature review part. There are more literatures which reviewed for this study, but only two more relevant literatures are given. Using Sri Lankan data, Vijayachandran and Vinayagathasan examined the impact of economic and non-economic determinations on foreign direct investment over the period from 1996 to 2017 and employs auto-regressive distributed lag approach. The results show that political instability and corruption tend to decrease the FDI inflows in the long run. Nevertheless, none of the economic and non-economic factors has statistically significant impact on FDI inflows in the short run. Next, Nizam and Hassan analyzed the impact of good governance on foreign direct investment inflows in the South Asia region using the regression analysis method. Was employed to access the relationship by using secondary quantitative data over the period of 2002 to 2015. The results suggested that improved good governance of voice and accountability and government effectiveness will increase FDI inflows. Research gap. Given the growing importance of FDI in any countries, it has been an area that has not been empirically researched much for the Sri Lankan case. Even though there are limited studies on FDI in Sri Lanka that were mainly focused the economic factors that could influence on FDI, not given enough concern to the impact of quality of governance on FDI inflows in Sri Lanka. Therefore, it is vital to explore the impact of quality of governance that is determine the FDI inflows in Sri Lanka. Thus, this study attempts to bridge this gap. Research objective. The main objective of this study is to examine the impact of quality of governance on FDI net inflows in Sri Lanka and to make policy suggestions as to how the government could improve this investment area of the economy by taking into account of quality of governance of FDI. This study used time series data from 1996 to 2019. In this study, the dependent variable is foreign direct investment net inflows. The data of FDIN was collected from the Central Bank of Sri Lankan annual reports. The independence variables are voice and accountability, government effectiveness, regulatory quality, rule of law, control of corruption, political stability, and absence of violence. Which data were collected from the World Governance Indicator published by the World Bank. The independence variables were used to estimate the quality of governance. In first step of the estimation procedure, had to confirm the order of integrations of all the series. According to the Unit 2 test, GEF is stationary at level while the other variables are stationary at best difference, implying that variables are stationary at combinations of I0 and I1. Thus, series are of different integrating orders so that it is suggested to proceed with ARDL model. ARDL bound testing procedure is used to investigate the existence of long-term relationship among the variables. This procedure is shown by this equation. In the next step of the estimation procedure, obtain the short-term dynamic of parameters and long-term adjustment of the model by estimating the error correction version of ARDL model, fine-tuning to the variables in this equation. AIC suggested to employ 2 lags as the optimum lag length for model from unrestricted bar model. Nevertheless, the criterion selected ARDL 1000 model as the first model among the top 20 models. ARDL bound testing approach confirmed that there exist co-integrating relationship among FDIN and other explanatory variables. Hence, it could be concluded that there is strong evidence to support the existence of a long-term association between FDIN and explanatory variables. Even though GEF, ROL and PSAB affect FDIN, none of them has statistically significant effect on FDIN in the long run. In contrast, BAC and COC have statistically significant positive impact on FDIN in the long run, whereas REQ has negative impact on FDIN in the long run. Results of diagnostic test confirm that residuals are distributed normally, residuals are not serially correlated, there is no specification error in the estimated model, and disturbance term in the equations is homoscedasticity, respectively. Meanwhile, recursive estimates whose plot lies within the upper and lower critical bound at 5% significant level, so that it ensures the stability of parameters. With regard to certain relationship, BAC, REQ and COC have a positive and significant impact on FDIN in short run. Meanwhile, ECT is statistically significant at 5% level and negative sign, which implies that the FDI model moves backward towards steady state line with a speed of 67.4% in each year one period after the exogenous shocks. In conclusion of this study, the results have shown that there exists a long-run and short-run relationship between BAC, COC, REQ variables and FDI. The improvement of performance of FDI in follow is not thus possible without a government performance. It is therefore recommended that in order to maximize the inflows of FDI, prudently managed quality of governance policies are necessary. Upward movement of BAC, COC and downward movement of REQ may lead to better performance of foreign direct investment net inflows in long run. Upward movement of BAC, COC and REQ may lead to better performance of foreign direct investment net inflows in short run. Policy and recommendations. This study suggests that the government of Sri Lanka should give priority to quality of governance when implementing government policies. Government should give priority to quality of governance like fight against corruption in all sectors of the economy, increase the voice and accountability, considering on maintain the regularity quality in policy making on FDI. There should be a certain level of currency stability and decrease in corporate tax for foreign investors or firms. Finally, openness of the economy should be efficient and effective in promoting export rather than the import. These are some references in this study. Thank you.